Hey everyone, in the last video, we ran through all 32 movies in this bracket and cut out the first 16 that just didn't make the grade. In this video, we're going to chop down 8 more, and I'm going to try and get through this next 16 a bit quicker. So, in an effort to make this video much shorter than the last one, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. Our first division in the North Pole Conference is family movies, and our first contenders are Home Alone versus Elf. Elf has become a modern classic that most people will continue to watch each season. It touches on some of the more magical aspects of Christmas that Home Alone doesn't quite get to. Watching Will Ferrell innocently try to make his way through New York City will always be fun to watch, and while both movies are about reuniting families, with Buddy trying to meet his dad for the first time, and Kevin trying to protect the family house until his parents come home, Home Alone captures something special about being a kid at Christmas, and the importance of family. This one goes to Home Alone. Up next, we've got It's a Wonderful Life versus Home Alone 2. Now, Home Alone 2 is a super fun movie, don't get me wrong. Watching Kevin navigate New York City while protecting a toy store from the same bandits from the first movie is always welcome each Christmas, but besides some great casting additions with Rob Schneider and Tim Curry, if we're being honest, it's just a rehash of the first one. In many ways, I'm happy about that, but if we're going to compare it to It's a Wonderful Life, it would have paid off to be a little more original. So for this one, It's a Wonderful Life wins. Next, we're going to jump quickly into our next division, animated movies. We'll start by looking at Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas versus Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights. The Grinch is one of the most classic Christmas curmudgeons since Ebenezer Scrooge. It's hard to beat a character that goes from so devious to so beloved. However, I'm going to likely ruffle a bunch of feathers here by saying I prefer Adam Sandler's character Davy. 8 Crazy Nights is absolutely overlooked. It's one of the most heartfelt holiday movies around and has some of the best music out of any movie on this list, including the Grinch theme. So for this one, we're going with 8 Crazy Nights. And finally, we've got Arthur Christmas versus Claus. Claus is an absolute achievement as far as animation goes. From a style perspective, it's absolutely gorgeous. And as far as the stories go, this is one of the greatest takes on Santa Claus I've ever heard. Arthur Christmas is incredibly touching and holds deeply to the spirit of Christmas, but at the end of the day, Klaus is a better movie from beginning to end, so Klaus takes it for this one. Moving on to our South Pole Conference, we'll start by looking at kids' movies, and our first match will begin with 2 heavyweights, the Santa Claus versus the Grinch. Now this one is probably going to piss off a lot of viewers. I would imagine that this is a pairing that many feel strongly one way or the other about. I grew up with both of these movies, and each has a special place. Tim Allen, as I've said before, is the king of Christmas, but Jim Carrey was born to play the Grinch. All that being said, I find the styling of the Grinch to be kind of grating. This is a Dr. Seuss movie, so it makes sense, but there's just way too much going on. Plus, hearing Cindy Lou Who sing Where Are You Christmas makes me sick to my stomach. I hate that song almost as much as I hate Christmas shoes. This one goes to the Santa Claus. Our next matchup is Miracle on 34th Street versus Jack Frost. This one is pretty easy, although it does break my heart a little bit. I love Jack Frost and I love Michael Keaton. As weird as this movie is, I always have fun watching it and can deal with the creepy animatronics. Eventually I'll do a full review just on that alone, but all that being said, we can't kid ourselves here. Miracle on 34th Street is just clearly a better movie. Our final division is Christmas movies made for adults. These ones were hard to grade because these are some of the ones that I enjoy the most now that I've grown up. Our first matchup is the hardest one for me on this whole list so far. Scrooge versus Mixed Nuts. I find that a lot of my friends haven't seen Mixed Nuts, so if you fall into that group, go watch it. From the ensemble cast, the tightly written dialogue, to the relatively low stakes, this movie has just about everything that I want in a movie, let alone a Christmas movie. However, Scrooged is something very, very special. Bill Murray is at his Bill Murrayest with this Scrooge-like character. The movie's fun and heartfelt and just straight up funny. The cast is top-notch, and it's one of the best versions of A Christmas Carol I know. I hate it, but one of these movies has to lose, so Scrooge is going to be our winner here. And for our last pairing, we have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation versus Four Christmases. Christmas Vacation is one of the first movies aimed towards adults that I probably ever watched. As you get older, there's so many things that you begin to relate with Clark Griswold on, and this movie is just one of the more quotable films of all time. While Four Christmases has a pretty killer cast and is really fun and easy to watch, it just doesn't have that special something that will last through the ages. That makes Christmas Vacation the clear winner here. And there you have it, folks. Just like I promised, this video was a lot shorter than the previous one, and the next round I'll go a little bit more in depth on the winners from this round and the winners therein. So, only 2 more rounds until we declare a winner. At this point, do you agree with my bracket? Or are you screaming at your computer screen? Let me know in the comments. Thanks.